What is going on, guys? So as y'all can tell, Steeda has finally released their front sway bar. It was released probably easily a month and a half ago, and this thing has been sitting in my garage for about a month and a half now, because I've had it since they released it. I was one of the first people to buy it as soon as it was released on the website. So today we're going to go ahead and install it on the Explorer. Shouldn't take that long. They have an easy to follow installation video on a lift. But if you're like me and don't have access to a lift and do things in your driveway, I'm gonna show you how to do it. And I think it'll be a little bit easier than what they show on YouTube, because they said the lift was getting in the way. Well, perks of not having a lift is you're not gonna have a lift getting in your way, but let's get to it, guys. All right, so I did get a tripod for y'all, so y'all can actually see everything I do. So we're gonna start by taking off the wheel. Obviously, we're gonna jack it up first. Got my jack right here. Yet Milwaukee still won't sponsor me. So I got Big Bertha and Little Bertha, right? Both 1/2 inch. This is their mid torque. Highly recommend this for the money. This thing is insane for how little and compact it is compared to this one. But anyway, this is not a Milwaukee thing, but Milwaukee sponsor me. Got the wheel up. I've had people ask me what lug nuts I run. These are McGuard's black lug nuts. They are pricey. I want to say the whole kit's like 120 bucks for the lug nuts, but they're worth it. A nice deep black finish, pretty scratch resistant, and will last you a good time. And they come with a locking nut too, so can't complain. And yeah, look great. Now to get these 78-pound wheels off. Freaking big boys. But when we get them out, we're gonna take the time to clean them up real nice, get behind them. But for now, I'm gonna set that over here. And I'm gonna use that as my little chair. Let me get my little pad. All right, got my little butt pad right here to sit on. But before we get into that, jack stands. Jack stands are highly important here. And I'm gonna end up just putting it right there. So I can gently lower this down. And that'll hold itself on the jack stand. All right, but we're gonna jump to the other side. I'm not gonna record that. And jack it up, jack stand. We'll come back to this side. All right, guys, so in order to get started, we're gonna go ahead and start by undoing the sway bar in link. You will need either a 21 wrench or a 7/8 pass through with a T45 thing to keep the nut from spinning. Should be good. Get that nut all the way off. All right, guys, so I am a huge dummy and did not click record when I swapped y'all back around to be over here. You're gonna have a bunch of black clips, which I just used a flathead screwdriver like this. You're gonna have 4 of them to get out. You're gonna have 1, you're gonna have 2, then you have 1 straight up, 3 and 4, and then we're gonna just move this back out of the way. I do apologize about that, guys. Then back here, you can see I already started loosening them, but you got your 2 18 millimeters back here. Ratcheting wrench is going to save your life in this situation. And we're just going to go ahead and put it back here and go ahead and get these off. All right, and you might be like, hey, why is the bar all wiggly and loose? Is because I already did the other side. Wanted to go ahead and do that. That way I can show you on one side how to do it. So now we are going to go ahead and pull the bar out. All right, 24. That big boy on there. Mid torque, don't play around. Got them loose that easy. All right, so you can see here I'm simply removing the nuts, and then I'm just using my hammer to tap the bolt through. On the top one, I did have to lift up on the bottom of the rotor a little bit to get some tension off, and then that top bolt ended up popping right out for me, no issues. Here we go. Got that out. Go ahead and pull that forward. Drop that down. Now we should have the room to get the sway bar out. All right, guys, so here you'll see me wiggling and pushing and pulling to get that sway bar out. It does take a little bit of finicking with it to get it out. Also, another thing to note is be careful of your ABS line and your brake line right there as you're tugging on the sway bar. You don't want to pull anything too hard. To get the sway bar out of there. Now, our stock sway bar is pretty beefy. I'm going to show you all the difference. All right, guys, so here we have both the sway bars. Steeda's comes with upgraded brackets and whatnot. You can see they're actually pretty similar in not only shape, obviously, but size. The best thing about Steeda is you have that adjustability that they built in. So we're going to move over to the car. We're going to slide this in the same way we took the other one out. Should be a little easier to slide this in because we don't have these on. Like I said, this is what's a big pain in the ass of getting these off, with these being on. But these are really on there, so we'll leave those on the bar. I don't even want to try to take them off to show y'all because I am baking in the sun. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in place. That way we can go ahead and start doing it. Now don't put it in backwards. If you notice that the curve of this bar, you'll see that it curves down, right? So we're going to put it in that exact same way. Now a lot of people might be asking why Steeda. I use Steeda on my Focus. I run their end links. I don't have their sway bars on my Focus. I actually have the white line ones in my garage, but I do like Steeda stuff. I've installed a lot of their lowering springs and whatnot, and on other cars and the Focus and all that. They make some quality stuff, especially their end links. Hopefully they'll eventually come out with some adjustable end links for the Explorer. Not toe end links, but sway bar end links. And yeah, anyway, they make good quality stuff. I already have the rear sway bar, so I'm glad they came out with the front one so I can match my rear one with the front. So we're gonna go ahead and slide this bad boy back in there. All right, here you can see I'm snaking the Steeda sway bar up through the exact same way I took out the OEM one, right over the axle, and then through where the old one came out. And this one was actually way easier to fish through there than the OEM one was to pull out, as it does not have the big brackets in your way. So it's much easier to fish through. Take your time so you don't end up scratching up the powder coating on the bar, and you'll get it in place with very minimal effort. Back in place, and go ahead and pull out our bushings. Open these up. Yeah. All right. Polyurethane. We'll make sure they're greased. If not, it will squeak. Use the grease or use some kind of grease. And what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to take the bushing out. I'll show you the proper way to do it. The tube is now open, right? Let me tear that all the way off so you can see. It's open. We're just going to put a dab. Go in right down the middle, top. And that's what we're going to do, right? Just like that. Four ways around. And we're going to go ahead and install this on there. And you'll notice that there's those little circles on the bar. These go on the outside. That keeps the bar from slipping side to side and whatnot. So I'm going to bring y'all in here so I can show y'all. Let me flip y'all around actually. That way I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. You'll see these little round discs here that they put in there. And again, that's to keep these from sliding all the way off. So I'm going to slide the bushing on, and we're just going to work it back and forth like that. That's going to allow the grease to make sure that it's all the way around. And put it just like so. Put it in place. And we'll put our bracket on. It's okay if it opens up. We'll just close it. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our bolts back in place. Always starting by hand, guys. Always, because you don't want to strip anything out. Yeah, I can't even see. There you go. You can see right now I just have those just loosely in place right now, as I need to go get the bar set up over there. All right, guys. Other side is all tight and buttoned up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't turn these by hand, but they're not really turning. So we're gonna have a long way to go with our ratcheting wrench here. So let's get turning with it. All right, torque specs on these are gonna be 85 foot-pound. I don't think we're gonna be able to really fit a torque wrench up in here, any of the torque wrenches I have. So what I'm gonna do is just go good and tight. I'm gonna put another wrench on it, tighten it up real good. All right, I got that side pretty much flush. And you'll notice how I'm working it down like this. I'm not going too tight until I have everything all the way down in place. All right. That looks like it's getting pretty tight there, so grab our other wrench, do the wrench trick. Again, we're just gonna make it nice and tight. 85 pounds isn't a whole lot, so that's why I'm not worried about doing it by hand. If I shoot over a little bit, oh well. All right, that's about good. And now we will go over and tighten up our end link all the way back up. Now we're going to put back all of this. I'm gonna have to go get my jack in order to put back this big ass spindle. So, all right, got our plastic, our little rubber cover in place. All right, guys, so this is important. Other side is still jacked up. If not, again, the sway bar in a bind. Tires on over there. Now we gotta get this spindle back up into place, which is why I have the jack here. And put it right on the bottom side of the rotor. Just help jack it up. Help save my back, something having to try to lift it up into place. And you'll see it kind of starts to slide into place. Hold right there. That one started. Boom. Got that one in there. And bottom one's in there now too. Couple ugga-duggas. That's good to go. We'll go ahead and take the jack off of that. Let's get this wheel back on. So this is a little back road. It's pretty curvy. There are some excuse me, houses back here, so something to keep in mind. Wasn't too bad. I do notice a pretty good difference already. I wouldn't say it's dramatic like in the Focus when you do front and rear sway bars. I mean, obviously, two different vehicles, two different sizes. This is a full-size or mid-size SUV with 3 rows versus, you know, a little hatchback. So something to keep in mind when doing sway bars. The floaty SUV body roll kind of feels gone. There is still some body roll. I'm not saying it completely got rid of that, but this definitely does complement that rear sway bar. Really, really nice. Feels super good around corners now, I'm not gonna lie. Feels really planted, really, really in control of the car, is what I feel. Oh, here's a little Miata thing. We'll take that turn. Let me flip y'all around, show y'all some of these roads. Chirp a little bit. Dang, they would be doing stuff with these big trucks right here. This is the corner I wanted to hit. Of course, I got these big moving trucks right in here. And I'm trying to keep y'all up, but my phone's too heavy for this this mount. All right, here's a good little turn right here. Hang on, Axel. Doing 30. No tire spin. Yeah, these bars feel amazing, honestly, guys. There's another good turn. Let's see if I can. Yeah, this thing feels super planted now. Yeah, I'm absolutely in love with the combination of these two bars in sync together, being front and rear. The car just feels super planted. You can take turns at like 30, 35, and the car doesn't even feel like it's an SUV at that point, which is really impressive. I would say it's worth the money to have front and rears on any car. That's just the way I like it. I always love a stiff suspension. But yeah, it helps drastically with the body roll. Not that you're going to be really taking many turns in this SUV, but I would think it would help with towing and all that jazz. To me, I love it. I do like to take corners fast. Not really in this SUV. Most of the time I have, my kids with me. Say hi. I'm just going to wave. All right. And so, normally I don't get to take turns too quick. So, oh, you're Spider-Man? All right, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Love y'all. And until the next one.